let's move back to the listener's question. So it's been missing in recent weeks, but we've got a good question and a good debate here from Nicky Moore, so good friend of the show. Nicky asked, despite recent performances or recent good performances, should Liam Scales be replaced by Maik Nawrocki once he's fully fit? So I'll come to you first, Paddy.
I don't think he said despite good performances, but I'll find that out from him. No, I think Liam Scales has done an awful lot for us as a team over the last 2-3 months. I think it is his jersey up until the end of December.
Then what happens?
The winter break. And I think that's when Nawrocki might come back in.
Do you think it's just a natural break, like Rodgers might just give him his place till then, or?
I just don't think you go and spend £4.5 million and don't test a player in the first season. I think that would be very foolish of Celtic.
Yeah, I mean, bizarre as it sounds, James, Maik Nawrocki, Celtic's record signing of the summer. He's the biggest signing we spent. I think it was £4.3 million on him from Legia Warsaw, and we've barely seen him. He actually got injured in that 1-0 loss to Kilmarnock in the League Cup, which was way back on the 20th of August. So it's about time we see him again, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've just been going patiently through his rehab. He's a young guy, so he should bounce back quite the thing there. But Scales, I've been very slow to join the party on Scales, but it's just undeniable. There's a lot of talk about Lagerbielke's the forgotten man. There's nothing Lagerbielke could or couldn't do. Carter Vickers is going to start, we know that, and Scales is the other form centre half. So that's just how that goes. That's football for any position in the team. So he's keeping Lagerbielke out through no fault of Lagerbielke's, and I think he will continue to do the same, as Paddy says, until at least towards the end of the year after the winter break. You might see a bit of subbing and Nawrocki getting half an hour and stuff if you're relatively comfy in a game and getting some game time under his belt. But I don't see him starting unless there's a real Rick from Scales, like a real clanger, which I do think he has in him still. He's still a bit raw. I think there's still something he needs to just polish out his game. But if he does manage to polish that out his game, it's going to be really hard.
Everyone, myself included, keeps saying he's got this mistake in him. Well, where is it? Because he's not showing the mistake.
It's probably previous experience,
I don't think he's going to put the ball in the net or anything like that. I don't think it's going to be a glaring obvious mistake from him. I think we are still kind of seeing bits of it though. His positioning is really poor.
I'd let it go away.
I think his position is one of his best assets.
I think he's been caught out numerous occasions.
It's more when he's coming out with the ball, he can get a wee bit panicky.
Yeah, again, that comes down to who's in front of him though.
Mm-hmm. But here's a question as well, and just taking a fine tune it as such. He's not done much wrong, right? I think we can agree that. He started the last 15 games on the bounce for Celtic, started the last 3 for Ireland. All of a sudden he's now an international footballer who's got Champions League experience under his belt, and good for him, and nobody can take that away from him. But as I say, he's not doing much wrong, which is great, but would another player, a better player, be doing more right, if that makes sense? So Scales is playing it very safe. He's not making any clangers, but could he be starting attacks better? Could he be joining in and maybe adding a couple of goals from set pieces? Could he be more vocal? Is there things that a better player will do, i.e. Maik Nawrocki or somebody else if Celtic find that centre half? Because you can't just judge him on, well, there's another 90 minutes and he didn't make a mistake. That's fine, but there's more to it when you're a Celtic player. You need to do more proactively than just stop the ball getting in the net.
I don't think it was that long ago fans were calling for someone to replace Carl Starfelt for that sole reason, that he wasn't bringing the ball out quick enough. He wasn't that level that we needed. And I think that, there was talks about Liam Scales being awarded a new contract. Mm-hmm. We as a support, we cry out for us to try and raise the level of the team and the level that we're playing at, especially when we're trying to compete in Europe. And, I think it was Stevie Keenan made a good point. He could be out the squad and sitting in £10,000 with a 5-year deal if we don't do this right. And it's Celtic again, do you know what? He's Irish, tick. He's Celtic fan, tick.
I don't think it's that. I think once he gets Champions League experience, once he gets international caps, he falls into a different scouting bracket, and then you need to kind of try and protect that asset from other clubs trying to sign him in the Championship.
Did you see that Man United scouting thing on Twitter?
No, it was
they were saying that here's 20 players under the age of 25 that Man United should seriously be looking at. And number 1 was, can't remember who it was. Number 2, Liam Scales, 20 million.
On you go.
I'll take it. Do you know?
And do they actually work for Man United? That's what I'm starting to think.
We'll give you him for 18.
Aye.
You're right to a point, James, just in terms of the kind of business side of it. He was just about to go to Aberdeen. I remember reading a quote that Barry Robson had spoken to Brendan Rodgers. One of the two of them accepted that there had been a conversation. He was all set to go back up the road and
Not loan.
I was going to say join Aberdeen either permanently or on loan. But now he's now capped at international level. He was playing against Holland the other night, albeit they lost it again. But he's playing against top level players. He's got Champions League experience. Has he played in all 4 of our games? Did he play the first one, Feyenoord?
Must have done.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's got 4 Champions League games under his belt. He's got 15 games in the bounce, as I mentioned. If he was worth 500 grand at the start of the season, he's worth at least 1.5, 2 million now. It's just the bottom line. So should Celtic be tying him up on a bit better wages? But the optics of that, Paddy, and I get Stevie's point, is that does that show a serious lack of ambition if you're looking to tie up Liam Scales in a longer term deal? Should we be tying up better quality and guys that can drive us forward? I'm not sure Liam Scales is going to take Celtic forward. He's doing a good job. But, should you be rewarding that, or should you just be setting your sights much, much higher?
I think you should be setting your sights much higher, and no offence to Scales, but I don't see him going to a team of the similar size as Celtic or better. I don't think that's the natural progression if he was to leave for a transfer fee. So we do need to be clever with it.
I think it just is that. They're being smart about their business, Celtic. So you're not saying, right, there's 10 grand a week and you're now our second choice centre half, left-hand sided first choice for the next 4 or 5 years. What you're saying is, in the summertime, we can now take offers from you in the bracket of 2 to 3 million instead of 500,000 to 750,000. I think that's the path ahead, that we'll get offers for in the summer, and he'll either be a second choice left-hand sided centre half, or he'll be away. And good luck to him, whichever it is.
Yeah, I agree with that. Last week I asked you lads a question: if Celtic had a cup final tomorrow, everyone's fit and available, what would your wingers be? We had the debate about Bada, Maeda, Louis Palmer, Yang. Same question though: if we've got a cup final tomorrow, all centre halves fit and available, and granted we've got limited minutes to go on in terms of Lager, Bielka and Nawrocki, but who would your two be?
I'd have to be Scales and Carter Vickers. It would be just on the evidence of what I've seen of both and the partnership that they both have in current form.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against that.
Exactly. We don't have the data on Nawrocki. You could assume that a big price tag makes him the better player. Been burnt by that one before.
Absolutely. We don't have the data, but do you want to see Nawrocki get his chance sooner rather than later?
That was an exciting signing, because we had such a gap there. Starfelt away, and we'd be looking to improve upon that position even when Starfelt was there. So we need to see, but I think Scales with that natural left-sidedness, that's a big attribute,
I read at the time that Nawrocki was 2-footed. Is that the case?
I read that. I don't think that's true.
No.
Not from watching him.
What have you been reading?
Bad football reports.
Yeah.
No, it was that. That was the initial chat. In fact, I think he said it.
Oh, did he? Well, I don't think he's got to lie about it. If he said he's 2-footed, he's 2-footed.
I think he can. He's comfy enough with either foot, but you're always going to have a leading foot. I mean, even you're talking to Lubo, not so long ago, saying
good
that.
Friend of mine.
Good friend of Lubo. But when Nawrocki, when the small times we did see, when he was coming out and he was looking to start an attack or clear a ball, it was with his right foot, wasn't his left? Whereas Scales has got that natural left.
But as you say, we don't have enough data. But I'm keen to see more on Nawrocki. But we didn't spend. I'd like to think we didn't spend 4 million plus for no good reason. So hopefully we'll see more of him. Paddy, just as we wrap this one up, and thanks to Nicky for the question. You know Nicky better than all of us. Where is he at on it? What would his general response be on this?
He's too busy watching the basketball. He's a big Celtics fan.
Go Celtics.
I know a guy who's a coach at the Celtics, and he might be coming on the show in the next few weeks, but we'll keep you posted on that one. So that might be interesting for Nicky and some others. But
the Celtics exchange. There you go.
Where is he on Liam Scales though? Forget his basketball stuff.
I do think he likes Liam Scales. I just think he's of the opinion of, I think a lot of Celtic fans are all of the opinion, we maybe got this wrong about Scales, well done to him. And I think the effort that he's made to compete at this level after what we've seen against St Johnstone, when we were all really, really worried after St Johnstone, myself included, to go and just ignore everything and just put his head down and go on with it. He'll be wondering, like 6 months ago, if someone told him this would have happened, they would have been like, no chance. But his self-belief has got him to where he's at, and a fair play to him. I just think that we do not spend that kind of money and just let players like that sit and do nothing. So I don't even think it would come down to Brendan Rodgers saying, I want to see this new player. I think it would even be our board saying, we need to use him. We need to get him into the team.
You may be right, and I think with Nawrocki seemingly closing in on a return to full fitness. We'll find out in due course, pretty soon I'd expect what Brendan Rodgers intends to do. But from Liam Skill's point of view, like you, Paddy, I hugely admire his mental resilience. He's shown a great attitude, and good luck to him. And whatever happens, whether it's at Celtic or elsewhere, he's done himself proud. So let's see how it all plays out.